What do Mega Ampharos, Gift Wrap Bastion, and the Stanley Parable all have in common? You can obtain them all from a limited time event. Whether it's a Pokemon mystery gift, a seasonal video game event, or a Steam sale, game developers have been using limited time offers to increase revenue and player count for decades. Have you been fooled? Watch this video to learn how to avoid their tricks. Hello everyone, and welcome to another Fireside Chat. This Christmas Eve, in honor of the holiday spirit, we're exposing materialistic consumerism in the gaming industry. How festive. Now, the gaming industry takes advantage of its consumers in many ways in order to make maximum profit. As we talked about in the Addictions Fireside Chat, this goes as far as exploiting people with addictive personalities for the gaming industry's own personal gain. Now, the gaming industry can do this in many different forms. One of them is the topic of today's video, special events. There are many types of special events, each with varying degrees of profit effectiveness and morality. But all special events have one thing in mind. By setting a deadline for something, you're encouraging people to spend their money in places they otherwise wouldn't, just to get that limited time offer. Other times, game developers will do this to keep the game exciting, in order to secure sales even after the game loses its novelty. This happens in three main ways: mystery gifts or codes, seasonal events, and of course, online sales. The first category is something most seasoned Nintendo nerds are very familiar with: mystery gifts and other code-based offers. These can come in the form of a distributed code or code card, or simply by opting to receive a gift during the offer period. Now, while these don't seem inherently greedy or manipulative in nature, they do have a few financial benefits for the designers. First of all, they create more excitement behind a game long after it's no longer new and interesting. If you think back to all the Pokemon mystery gifts and code cards for Sun and Moon, you'll realize that they all came quite a while after the game's prime. In fact, many of them came along closer to the release of Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon than the release of the original games. This sparks new life into the product, and if the event Pokemon is interesting enough, could be the final element needed to secure a few last-minute sales. But there's another, more conniving effect that code distribution events have. See, if the event comes from a code card, then the player has to go to the local GameStop or other electronic store in order to receive the code. While this seems like merely an added inconvenience, it's actually advertising in and of itself, as you have to walk past all the other video games to retrieve your code. The thought process is that getting you into the store will be enough to make you purchase their video games on a whim. This strategy is all the more effective when you keep in mind that some of the code cards could be distributed after the next game's release, in this case Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Getting you down to your local GameStop or Best Buy is just bringing you one step closer to a purchase. So now we know how special events like mystery gifts and limited time codes can generate profit for the company. But what's the collateral damage? In other words, how does this negatively affect the gamer? The most obvious answer is that if you miss the code, you miss out on some of the game's content. While this may not seem like a huge deal, it seems pretty silly that two equally paying customers could have differing amounts of Pokemon in their game. Since mystery gifts and codes rarely resurface, the whole process ends up more defeating than anything for the player. The second type of special limited time offer is seasonal events. Think Overwatch's numerous events each year. Unlike code offers, these are much more forgiving towards the player, as they repeat every year, giving you the chance to come back and collect anything you missed. Still, they generate quite a bit of revenue for the game company. Not only does a special event make it the prime time to purchase a game like Overwatch, especially in the holiday gift-giving season, but the limited time offers create an opening for in-game purchases to earn more revenue. We've all been there. There's that one skin that you just can't get, and on the last night of the event, you have no choice but to buy loot boxes until you get it. Otherwise, you have to wait an entire year for another chance. On the other hand, you might spend all your in-game currency on skins and other collectibles during the event, and need to spend money afterwards to stock up your supply. Either way, though less condemning than mystery gifts, seasonal events put pressure on the player to either spend or wait an entire year. They are essentially a trial of patience, which gamers usually don't have much of. This makes quite the unavoidable trap for most, ultimately resulting in mass profit for the game designers at the expense of the player. The last type of events are all too familiar to the holiday season: sales. From the ridiculously low prices of Steam sales to Epic Games freebies like Subnautica, the idea of a video game sale is unfamiliar to no one. But what's the harm? It's just saving money. Well, the thing is, sales often compel people to buy things that they don't really want. For instance, the Stanley Parable, normally priced at $25, was on sale for $5 very recently. While a $25 game might make me rethink my decisions before making a purchase, a $5 game probably won't have you batting an eye. The issue here is that these things add up. $5 here, $10 there, $3 over here. Soon you've ended up purchasing an entire AAA game. The other issue is that sometimes a good deal will lead you to buy something you don't even want, simply on the grounds that you don't want to pass up the offer. Sure, if Hello Neighbor is half off, why wouldn't I buy it? But will I ever play it? And would I ever have even thought of playing it if it was at full price? These are all things to think about next time you browse a Steam sale. Then you might be thinking, but what's the point of giving out free games? Well, it makes you more likely to buy another one of that designer's games. If you really like it, it gives the video game company more credibility in your eyes, and you'd be more willing to spend money on their content later. Plus, in some games, like Subnautica, there's extra DLC, so if you fall in love with the game for free, you'll come back and spend money on it later. For the player, these are probably the most friendly type of special event, as a prudent shopper will be able to distinguish manipulation from a great bargain, and make substantial bang for their buck. At the same time, sales are very profitable for the gaming company, making these the best limited time offers overall. All in all, limited time offers can be quite damaging to the consumer's wallet. Playing on your patience and the brain's reward system, they try to milk every dollar out of you, taking advantage of the player for the game designer's gain. They count on these events to not only add spice to an old game, but to make you purchase their content simply because you're running out of time. When making a video game purchase, it's important to always ask yourself, do I really want this? Am I just buying this because it's a deal? Or am I just buying this because it's a limited time offer? Even the smartest shoppers can fall prey to their manipulation. To review, there are 3 types of special events. A sale being the most effective both for the game designer and the player, a mystery gift or otherwise code distribution being the least effective, and a seasonal event falling in between. These different systems can be found in many different types of games, from the Stanley Parable to Pokemon to Overwatch and even Subnautica. When buying a video game for yourself or buying a gift for others, it's important to watch out for these various types of schemes. Adding this information to what we already discussed from the Fireside Chat about addictions, game developers can be a force to be reckoned with, so stay wary when browsing the physical or digital stores. And with that, remember, we didn't start the fire, we just keep it burning. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays! With the holiday season fully in motion, there have been many sales on both Steam and the Epic Games launcher, which I've made sure to take full advantage of. I was able to buy the Stanley Parable for a measly $5 and downloaded Subnautica for free. The latter sale is still available as far as I know, so if you haven't already, you should check it out. Personally, I love the beautiful aquatic alien environments of Subnautica, and the feel of mystery and isolation finishes it off perfectly. I would recommend it to anyone who loves a good survival game. Thanks for watching.